Hello. Today I thought it might be helpful for some people to have a little bit more information about how antidepressants kind of work, I guess, or like how they have affected me. Like, I can only tell you about my personal experience because I am not like a medical professional, but I thought maybe this would help demystify things for some people because I know that at least some people are scared to be on medication for like your mental health. But let me hopefully take that down a few notches for you because I've been on antidepressants for like what since COVID, so at least 5 years. Yeah, I started pretty much when COVID was happening. I had done therapy first, which is not going to be the case for everybody. Sometimes you have to start meds first, so that way you can be more level headed enough to withstand therapy because therapy can hurt. Not like physically, but you gotta. The way that I described it to a friend doing therapy was like you had a wound that didn't heal right, basically, and so now they have to reopen it and clean it out so it can heal correctly this time. That's how it feels because you're gonna rehash the old shit that it sucks. The stuff that was like messing you up, but it helped a lot. Therapy, a lot of people can benefit from it, so that's always definitely something that you should do. I feel like in tandem with it, because I mean, how are you gonna get diagnosed in the first place? You know, some things are obvious. Like I'm not like a fan of self-diagnosing really because I feel like it's so easy to like convince yourself you have things that you don't actually have. But so if you suspect that you have something, ideally you're gonna go, if you can afford to, you're gonna want to go to a therapist and make sure that they give you like an official diagnosis, which or at least help you understand maybe you didn't have that thing, but maybe you have some tendencies toward that thing. But either way, like therapy can help you even if you don't have like a full-blown condition. It's just sometimes you just need somebody to talk through that is a third party that doesn't have like a special investment on either side. Like they're just there to help you out. So they're on your side, I guess, technically. They're just there to help you. Like, sometimes you just need to tell somebody something, and you don't need anybody involved in your shit to know. And so, I feel like that's good. So, anyways, that's definitely a big part of it. But for me, I completed therapy, and then she told me I needed to be on antidepressants. So, you don't have to go to a psychiatrist to actually get medication like that. You might have to do that if you're doing it like together, I guess. But like in my situation, I was able to complete therapy first, and then I had my diagnosis, which was depression. I have what is it? The major depressive disorder or whatever, MDD. I think, yeah, depression. Just if it's depression, like, so so yeah, she was like, yeah, you just need medication. Like, therapy did help, but I feel like it wasn't. I mean, it is enough, but also not enough. It's hard to explain. Like, my stuff was definitely after doing therapy, you don't come out completely out of the funk, then they're like, yeah, maybe you need meds. Like, I think in my case, I had depression for like so freaking long that it's obvious it's not going anywhere without medication. So yeah, so anyways, I ended up getting antidepressants through my regular primary care doctor. So like this is something I think that like a lot of people seem to not know, is that you can just go to your regular doctor once you have like a diagnosis and be like I just went and told them like my therapist said that I need an antidepressant. And so like my doctor's office took it very seriously. Like when I called them and was all like, yeah, my therapist says that I need antidepressants, and they were like, oh, okay, They were like, oh well, we're booked out this week, but I think we could squeeze you in on this day. And so like they took it, like the lady, bless her, the lady that answered the phone took it very seriously, and because bad things can happen when you have bad cases of depression. So anyways, yeah, they took it very seriously, and so they squeezed me in, and yeah, they're like the first thing that she was telling me was like, obviously she wanted to like ask who my therapist was and make sure like that I'm not just making shit up for meds. I don't know why the hell you would want to make shit up for an antidepressant though. These are not like you're not gonna get like a high and cray cray off of this. At least not that I know of. Like these are not the meds that I think people are going for when they want to be like high as a kite and happy go-go land, whatever. Like anyway, so yeah, she just like asked me a few questions about that, and then you know it does kind of mark stuff on your chart. Like I do get asked so sometimes when I go to the doctors, I have been kind of like asked the questions again to ask like how bad it is right now, like currently. And yeah, so I mean the thing about the medications is there's a lot of antidepressants, there's a lot of different ones, and so the thing that I think everybody definitely needs to know is that you really need to advocate for yourself when it comes to this, because like even though it's not like going to be the most mind altering thing in your whole life, low key kinda, but also not really, like the side effects are what kind of mess people up. So like I think an important thing to make sure to ask the doctor is like, if I have a bad reaction to this, like how do I come off of it? Because like the first couple of meds that I took, you had to like wean yourself on and wean yourself off, so make sure you get those instructions. And so let's see, they tried me out with Wellbutrin first, I believe it was, and that one gave me a lot of anxiety. That one, and it didn't go well. So I tried that one out first. It didn't work well, so I followed the instructions they gave me to like come off of it, because I was like, oh man, that's crazy, like I feel worse, not better. So then I just, you come off of it and then go back to the doctor. They try a different one. And so they gave me a prescription at that point for Lexapro. And I took the generic of that for like a long time. And because that one didn't really have like major side effects, it was just like I couldn't lose weight anymore, and I was gaining weight like crazy. So that one these are the ones she specifically started me on because I was really broke at the time, and so like these were the more affordable options, and they do work for a lot of people. So she gave me that, but yeah, like I ended up with the side effect of like gaining a lot of weight, and then I couldn't lose the weight no matter how hard I was trying. Like I was working out, I was eating like as clean as I've ever eaten in my life, and I wasn't losing any weight. Yeah, like it wasn't working well. So then the problem with the side effect being weight gain is that like it's not it's that it's a little bit of they don't believe you, like they think you're just being a badass. And then so it's a combination of that, and like since that doctor knew that I like needed the cheaper meds, like that obviously gives you a lot shorter list. So she tried to tell me like, well, we can give you diabetes medication. I was like, no. She's like, but if we do that, then you're always going to get asked if you have diabetes, and they'll be like on your chart forever. And I'm like, no, I don't have diabetes, and I don't want that. And then the other thing was like, oh, well, I can give you meds that like speed your metabolism, but it's very addictive. And I was like, no and no. So yeah, so like no. So anyways, I just ended up staying on that med for a while until I moved in with my aunt over here and got different doctors, and like now I can afford different meds. So I was like, okay, I went to the doctor and I was like, please give me something else. Like this medication is not allowing me to lose weight, and like obviously it can cause extra problems for you. And I mean, in my case, like I like fashion. I want to fit back into the clothes that I have because I have a lot of cute clothes. And I was like, and I felt like that was a reasonable, like, size for me to be at. And it was a reasonable, like, I can eat and not feel like I'm struggling and stuff. So it felt like a healthy place to be at. And I was like, I just want to get back to that at least. Like, I just want to be able to wear, I don't want to have to buy a ton of new clothes. I just want to be able to get back into the clothes I was wearing. Was I the skinniest ever? No. But I could at least comfortably fit in a lot of my cute clothes. I have a big wardrobe and I really want to fit back into it. I don't want to spend a lot of money on new clothes. And stuff. So, you know, and not to mention like the health complications that can come if you end up like gaining too much weight, especially if you gain like too much weight too fast and stuff. Like, there's just a lot of stuff. So, you know, to avoid all of that, I was like, man, please, please help me. So yeah, now I was able to switch meds, and so they put me on Prestique, because she told me, my doctor here told me, like, a lot of people have an easier time on that one. And so yeah, like, I kid you not, as soon as I switched to that med, I lost like, what, 3 pounds that week, just that week alone. Like, and I, or like the, because I had to go back to the doctor the next week, and yeah, I like instantly started losing weight, because I was like, I know I'm not eating like that crazy, you know. And like, yeah, so yeah, so now I can lose weight again. I mean, I am kind of, but it's going really slow. Once you hit 30, man, that stuff is already slower anyways. But so yeah, so I can lose weight now, which is nice. But so, you know, and I feel like this med actually works better like for the depression, because the medication that I was on before, I feel like, yeah, it gave me like a baseline to where, you know, I would notice myself spiraling, but I would be able to catch myself, like it didn't go as bad as it was. So it like helped me catch myself and then use what I learned in therapy to bring myself up. But then on this medication, I feel like I feel so much more level in the first place. Like I don't, like, it takes something more serious now, and I feel like a lot more normal. Like, it takes actually serious things to start spiraling. And, but, you know, but I catch myself really fast, and I'm like, no, this isn't true. Like, you know, all the mental gunk. But, so yeah, I feel like this medication both works better and is not destroying my metabolism. So, that's nice. And, yeah, but, yeah, so that's why, you know, you just have to really try to tell the doctors, and you know your body, and you know what you're doing to yourself or not doing to yourself. So don't let them convince you of stupid shit that you know isn't true. So yeah, just if you have a bad reaction to one but you can afford to keep like trying different ones, then just do that, because you know it's like anything else. Like, you know, any other kind of medication they give you, they have to sometimes mess around with the dosage. Sometimes they have to try something else because you'll have side effects. It's the same with any other kind of medication. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, there's side effects like with anything else. So you just need to watch for those and see, you know, if it's like affecting you negatively, then no, ask for something else, because there's so many different medications now, especially if you can afford to. Like, just keep asking them to change it if it's not working well for you. Like, yeah, like, don't let people lie to you. There are options. So there's that. And then the other side of things to note is that antidepressants are a little bit addictive. I wouldn't say it's anything crazy. Like, you know, not like mentally, well, I don't know, maybe for some people, but like, I don't feel like mentally addicted, like, oh my god, I gotta have my pills. That's not how I feel about it. But like, physically, yeah, they're physically a little bit addictive. I mean, it's not like super crazy, though. Like, let me tell you, if I miss a dosage, then by the end of that day, like, I'll know. Because on my old meds, it's just like by the end of the day, I would be cranky. And I'll be like, why am I so cranky? Then I would look at my pill thing and be like, oh, I just didn't take my meds. Well then, you know, like, that's it. That was how it was for my old med. And this med, the side effects are a little bit different if you miss a dosage. So if I miss a dose, then like I'll be a little bit like dizzy and lightheaded, and I'll be like, oh crap, like this one I think it makes it a little bit more obvious, because I'm like, this feels funky as hell, and then you just take them and you're good. So it's nothing crazy. Like I can still function through all of that. So it's not. I mean, this is why they tell you to like wean down and wean up onto these kinds of meds, because yeah, you'll have a little bit of weirdness like that, but it's nothing like horrendous, unless you were on a bad med in the first place that you weren't supposed to fucking be on. So, that's why just advocate for yourself. Make sure you tell them like, oh, this med is not working correctly. Tell them why, like what happened. Like try to be as clear as you can, so that way they can know like, oh, maybe like this group of meds isn't gonna work for you. Oh, also, this is another thing. I learned that there is a test you can take to help you know which psychiatric medications like this can actually help you. So that works with your like DNA or whatever. So I took like a test where they like swabbed the inside of my cheek, and then they made sure, like they can make sure from that test now, in order to see like which medications, at least for like antidepressants and stuff, are gonna work for you. So that way you don't have to like go through this as much. It was expensive, I'm not gonna lie. It was expensive, so that's an option if you can afford to do it. But it's very helpful. Like they did that, and then they made sure, and then they gave me the Prestige, and now yeah, it works really well for me. So science keeps sciencing, and we're learning more all the time, and so they keep coming up with new shit. And I ain't mad at it, because we need that. There are so many people that need like a little boost. But yeah, but like please don't be scared of it, because the likelihood that you will probably have a bad reaction while they're figuring it out is like, it's likely. But that's why you just need to monitor yourself in that period, make sure like, is everything right? Do I feel correct? Is it working to actually help the problem? Like you gotta check yourself, and don't let them mess you up. So anyways, yeah, that's what I know. Hopefully this helps somebody be maybe a little bit less scared, because it just life be lifing. But honestly, like antidepressants have been like net positive for me, because I am way more functioning now. I don't let as much stupid stuff bother me, because I am not as like messed up, because now the meds are working like they're supposed to, and now I can move on with my life. Like it is, for me, it was night and day. I went from like always feeling like something bad was gonna happen like every stupid day, like oh, what is life gonna throw at me today? I just felt like everything was gonna be bad all the time, because I'm like I was in that like stuck in that negative mindset. But yeah, through this process, like now I was like, shit, this is how people feel. Like you just get to feel like everything's gonna be okay every day. Yeah, apparently. So yeah, for me it was definitely worth it, and it might be worth it for you too. So if you need it, please don't be afraid to try it, because it might help you a lot. And I don't feel like it was that bad. So I'm sure other people probably have like worse side effects, but this is my story, and this is what happened to me. And so maybe you will get lucky and not even have to deal with any of that. So anyways, do what you gotta do. Take care of yourself. So anyways, stay safe out there.